Hi guys, I'm back again, and this time I made another video, like a short video, to give you idea of how I teach in at NativeCamp. And as you all know, I'm staying here in Abu Dhabi right now, and this is actually my full-time job as of this moment. And of course, I'm doing an online work as well. And of course I have to support also myself here, so I need um, to do this job. So first of all, I'll be talking about how I get students here at NativeCamp. So, and somehow it will give you an idea, and just stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Okay, Tagalog na ako. So, dito po ang pagtuturo sa NativeCamp is just like being yourself. So, just enjoy teaching, and I usually go for standby like from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. here in UAE time, but in Japan it's like in the afternoon from 2 o'clock until 12:30 a.m. or 1 a.m. So masasabi ko po na convenient yung aking time. So of course, unlike in the Philippines, they have to do the graveyard or GY shift. So ako po okay lang sa akin dahil convenient yung time ko. So of course, pag being a teacher here at NativeCamp, you can actually switch on or switch off whenever you like. If you don't feel like teaching, then you can switch it off for as long as wala kang reservation. So of course, from time to time, you have to check your slot if someone reserve your slot. Otherwise, may deduction. So kasi ang reservation dito is like 80 pesos sa atin. So kailangan hindi nyo mamimiss yan, kundi meron kayong deduction. And masakit po kahit pa paano yung amount na yun. Okay, and tungkol po sa kind of students that I usually get, may mga kids po from 5 to 10 years old, and per day or in a day, seldom do I get many students. It's like 1 or 2 kids only, or 3 kids. That's the maximum. And although I have like a badge of like available for children, but hindi ko po pinafocus yun. So I'm not focusing on teaching kids. And because for me, I like to teach adult, or the one who can really have basic or zero knowledge of English, wherein I can teach them in a way na hindi ako makulitan. That's it. The student that I usually get, the maximum age is 71 years old, so they need someone to talk to, or need nila yung may kausap lang. So it's not necessary to improve their English because some of them are in intermediate and advanced na. So kailangan lang nila may kausap to practice their English. For the kind of topics, or the topics that I usually get here, like 1, 2 to 3, or grammar, and side by side, free talk. So on free talk, almost adults, or I'm getting students like those professional one, like a doctor, even the writer. I usually get the students like that, like for them to just develop their topic. Although they're advanced, they just want someone to talk to, and someone that they know the information of today, the current news today. So luckily I was able to share with them the information that I got from other sources like YouTube, and then the news of today, and then from all sources of information. And technique ko is just to ask them a lot of questions. So whenever during the intro, I'm going to ask them what do they do, and from there you will know the type of job that they have and the questions that you're going to ask. And from there they're going to share their background and experiences from their work, so they'll be able to relate on it really well, and somehow you will dig in to what questions are you going to ask them. It's like anything goes, so it's pre-talk, so you should know how to really think quickly on how to ask your question and when to ask your question, so it will keep them from talking. So the goal is for them to expand their ideas, which I always explain in the beginning of the lesson. So at the end, they enjoy the discussion. It's like they're talking to someone like from their colleague, and they're very challenged about the question. So I usually put them at the level of professionals. So you have to really cater. The question should really based on what they have, or what they're doing as a professional. So you should not ask question na hindi nila level, so they're get bored. So most likely bibigyan ka ng either magagalit sila or bibigyan ka ng babang grade kasi hindi mo alam ang tinatanong mo sa kanila. So you have really to be quick in thinking while they're speaking. Your aim is to just keep them talking until the end, para nag-aantay ka lang ng time. So pag meron silang sinasabi, you just have to think quickly what's the next question you should ask. Yun ang technique. Apart from this, I also get topics like 5 minutes discussion. In 5 minutes discussion, I love that topic because in this there are situational questions that students are really are going to think deeply. So kailangan nila mag-isip at hindi nila kailangan magsalita ng pag meron silang simple answer, then you have to guide them like a leading question which lead them to the leading answer. Like you have to give them a clue, most likely the examples, for example, and what you think about it, so they're going to have an idea. So, because some of them are really shocked of the question and they don't know the terms and how it's being used in English, although if you think of it is simple, but they cannot, so you have to give them an example, so specifically for them to answer the question. And lastly, in TOEIC 600 and 800. So in TOEIC test, it's like listening to the audio, and then I let the student guess based on what they listen, and then at the end I try them to analyze what's the reason why you chose this one and not the A, B, or C. So they are going to think, and we're going back to the one that they haven't chosen. It will, so i-ask ko sila kung bakit nila pinili yun, dahil then they're going to think na I'm not choosing this because it will not be appropriate answer to this. And then if they do not understand, I will revise the question. It's like the answer is not appropriate on this one, then I'm going to give them example and how it's being used so that they can imagine the scenario of that. So in summary or in conclusion, they're going to think that I understand this expression. I usually give them a lot of expression similar to that. So So I'm not actually contented with giving them that expression unless I explain it to them well. Kasi kung wala silang idea, hindi nila magagamit yun. So my aim or my goal is to be able to for them to use that expression in a practical way, and not only like listening and then guessing the right answer. So you have to give them the reason why it's being chosen, why it's the appropriate answer to that question. So that's in total 800 to 600. Okay, and lastly the 47 prefectures. So in here, so it features a lot of different places in Japan, and then what's so special about Japan, and there's a conversation, so you have to keep them involved and really excited on the places, on the topic. For example, the Shiba Prefecture, Kanagawa, and then I will ask them extra question, have you been there, and what's so special about it, and what if I'm a traveler, what would you recommend, like the special food, the recommended places where I should go, and the activities that I can do there. So, and also ask another extra question for them to be excited. So at the end, of course, the rating will go up if they enjoy your discussion. So in conclusion, so if you want to get more students, you should be able to enjoy what you're doing, and then because it will show up for sure in your facial expression, and then the way you talk to them, so it will create a friendly type, like they can loosen up or magiging kampante sila sa'yo. So at the end, parang friend mo sila. Yung objective mo is for them to not to think that this is a classroom situation between teacher and student. It's not like that. So it's like your friend who advise you and guide you to what you're going to do. So I make them feel that this is not a teacher, so we're just talking, and then we're just having like an interesting topic or discussion. So for students towards young age, I should be able to really not relate to the trending on what they're doing, but at least I will know what to put on. Like the question that I should be giving to them will fit to their age. And but what I like the most is my adult student, with whom I can talk to them seriously, like serious question that they're more interested in. So like, because I've been exposed to the environment that I used to speak to many supervisors, managers, and deal with clients. So I can really talk to them seriously about anything about business. So mas okay sa akin yun. Alright guys, I hope you learn about the